Hi all, today we are exploring patterns through post-its and labels. So, the materials we're using is office supplies. So if you have access to any post-its of any color, I have a wide variety of colors here, any kind of labels that you might put on mail, or those circle labels. Ask your family if they have any of those type of office supplies available. And you also need a pair of scissors and a pencil. So, the first thing you need to do is prep some of your labels. So, if you have someone that can help you, this would be ideal for them to help you cut some of your labels and prep your materials. So, you can cut them up in a variety of ways. See how I'm cutting some in half, I'm cutting some into triangles. I am cutting up my labels to make them a little more interesting to work with. I also have lots of post-its of different colors, so I'm cutting them into strips, or I'm cutting just the sticky part of the post-it. So it allows me to have a kind of a sticker in a way. So I want you to just play with all of these colors you have, cut them into different sizes, different shapes if you can, so you have a wide variety of materials to work with. If you only have just a few different color post-its, I recommend using a lot of different shapes if you can. So now, like I said, we're working through pattern. So I am laying out 4 of those labels. And I am going to repeat that pattern across the way. So notice how I'm using yellow first, and then I went in with white. And I'm layering these labels, but I'm also making sure wherever I put one, I am putting them in the same spot all through my paper. So I'm using gray paper. It's totally okay if you're using white paper. You can use any kind of paper you have available, but it makes it a little easier to see as I'm working that I'm using gray. So I'm putting down different stickers, as you see, different labels in different ways, and as I'm going to keep repeating a pattern, just like a pattern, right? A pattern repeats. So if I have yellow in one spot, I'm going to put the yellow in the same spot. If I have orange sticker in one spot, I'm going to make sure I continue the pattern and keep going. And I have a pattern that repeats in 4. So I'm just going to make sure all my pieces have at least 4 pieces of each color so I can keep working with them. So what's really great about working with post-its and labels is that you're able to peel them up and you can put them back down if you like. So it's really hard to make a mistake, I would say. You can always undo your mistakes and keep going. So no pressure here, really. And as you layer, think about the colors you have available. So I'm thinking about, should I put my warm colors together? Notice how I put pink and red together. I'm laying my orange on top of yellow, but then I want a splash of blue to make it a little bright in that area. But as I repeat, we are gonna, wherever you put one label, you're gonna make sure you put it all throughout your piece. You want to keep up that pattern. The idea of this project is to really create a cool pattern for you to work with. So I'm gonna keep layering. I'm using purple now, playing with all my colors. And if it is hard for you to peel apart some of these post-its, please ask for help from someone in your home. I'm sure they would be happy to help you peel apart some of these post-its. It can get a little difficult to do that, but they're pretty easy to stick down, and I'm pretty sure you all can do that. So I am layering on top. Notice how some of my post-its are sticking up and they're peeling up. So I'm gonna lay down a post-it where I just cut the sticky part of the post-it, and I'm using that almost like a tape to lay down on the paper and keep everything in one place. So I'm gonna keep on layering, 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 layering. And here I'm trying to decide what I want to do with this green triangle. I'm not sure how I'm going to incorporate it into my pattern, but I'm going to put it in between the pattern that repeats. So by doing this, I'm kind of going off of the pattern. I'm doing something that's not necessarily going in fours this time. This time I am doing what's in between my pattern spaces. Okay, so that's where I'm creating, that's why I'm putting 3 down instead of 4. Because notice where I'm putting them is in between each line of this pattern space. And see, I put down a label and I'm like, I don't think it looks good there. I'm just going to peel it up. And it's pretty easy to peel up. Again, if you need help with that, please ask someone in your home. But I'm just going to lay out a couple more dots, a couple more spaces, and now I'm going to start to draw. So what's really great about labels and Post-its and paper is that they're designed to be drawn on, right? And because you're using the non-sticky sides of everything, you can draw all over this paper now. You can draw pieces that continues the pattern, or you can draw that kind of offsets the pattern. So in these little circles here, I'm drawing different symbols that I like. So maybe I have a little lightning bolt at the top, I have a peace sign, and a heart, and a flower. But then in other spots, I'm just putting different kind of shapes like circles or triangles or lines, and I'm just drawing, but I'm remembering that wherever I put a mark in one part of my pattern, I'm remembering to put it throughout my whole sheet. So I think I'm done. I feel like I've drawn on every part, and this is my final piece. And share with me your final piece if you can. And I hope you all enjoyed that project.